The more the community in Bend learns about Skyline, the more important it will be for them to raise their voice about the protection of the place.
Why not fight for something that is so close to us and we hold so dearly in our outdoor community?
I don't believe that we're owners of this land. I believe we're just caretakers of it.
That simple, because that gets us reconnected to why and what we're fighting for.
I've spent a lot of time in Skyline, starting back in 2010 when I started riding, up until the time it was closed to the public in 2022. I think I've spent about 1,300 hours riding my bike in Skyline Forest. Just being outside in nature and in space and moving under my own power through that space, it clears my mind, it clears my heart, it's good for my mental health, and there is something about being in a place with so few people. When I think about the time that I spend in Skyline Forest and the way that it makes me feel, I get really emotional because it is a place of utter escape. I think historically it's been sort of a take it for granted sort of place. The more the community in Bend learns about Skyline, the more important it will be for them to raise their voice about the protection of the place. And as we restore public access, the privilege to ride in Skyline Forest will not be lost. If I can play a small role in protecting this place, like that's the best legacy I could ever leave.
My name is Corey Heath. I'm the Deschutes Watershed Manager for the Oregon Department of Fish and Wildlife. There's a variety of species on the Skyline Forest: elk, black bear, mountain lion, red fox, coyotes, bobcats, Lewis woodpeckers, and of course mule deer. Mule deer are important for a variety of reasons, both biologically and socially. They're very important to not only the ecosystem, but also the humans that live in Central Oregon.
I'm Sally Compton, and I'm the Executive Director of Think Wild. At Think Wild, we see a really wide range of wildlife, and many, if not most, of those species rely on the habitat that's found in Skyline Forest. Mule deer are often considered a keystone species because changes in their population can have much larger impacts on the whole ecosystem.
If something happens somewhere in that home range that they have, mule deer don't adapt very well. When their habitat is developed, mule deer disappear from the landscape typically.
Skyline Forest is one of the few remaining large continuous tracts of habitat that mule deer rely on. The ideal outcome for Skyline Forest would be to find a balance. There's ways to still have recreation and forest production while protecting the important wildlife habitat.
All right, what's your name, man?
Mael.
Mael?
Yes, Mael.
Where you from?
Bend, born and raised.
Dang, dude, we got an OG over here.
Yep. Being able to grow up in Bend has been such an amazing experience to be able to have access to all the amazing recreation and outdoor opportunities that this area has to offer. I was able to travel to Skyline Forest a few times before it closed, and having it opened again but also responsibly managed would be so amazing.
Skyline Forest provides an important habitat for animals, including mule deer and elk, who rely on it. And if Skyline Forest were to be developed, that would take away their habitat and reduce their population.
Not only is Skyline Forest beneficial for wild animals, but it's also very beneficial for humans.
Conserving Skyline Forest helps Central Oregon communities become more resilient to climate change. And I believe that it's our responsibility as humans to be protecting and preserving our world for future generations.
I'm Leia.
And I'm Chloe.
Mael.
Soleil.
Logan, Sabrina,
Bryn.
Zoe.
Asa.
We are students for Skyline Forest! Woo!
Balance Aside is an organization where we provide opportunities for the Latino and BIPOC community to access the outdoors here in Central Oregon.
And the two of us aren't enough to run this program by ourselves.
So we bring in high schoolers to be interns so they can help us out with programs on social media, just recognizing there isn't a lot of outdoor educators of color.
Hello, I'm Jose Vera, and I'm a rising senior at Caldera High School.
Soy David Tello Francisco, and I'm a senior at Ben High. Today we're going mountain biking, and that's a program that Balance Outside does, and the issue that addresses is people of color can bike outside as well.
Another way that these programs can expand even more is using the Skyline Forest, which is really right next to us, for all of our hiking activities, all of our mountain biking activities. It can really open the doors for more people of color to be outdoors. Losing Skyline Forest would completely sever the opportunity for local communities to experience its beauty. My hope is that Skyline Forest gets protected because, I want that opportunity for my siblings and the community around me to experience the outdoors.
My name is John Kish, and I am the owner and founder of Somewhere That's Green Indoor Plant Shop and the Greenhouse Cabaret. I think drag queens, in a weird way, are a superhero. As a superhero, we end up creating an acceptance and a freedom of our viewers that they can do and be whatever they want to be. In my experience, inclusivity in the outdoors is often limited by stereotypes of different types of people, financial accessibility, language barriers, and so many more other minute systems that maybe won't affect someone like me, but that are preventing people from enjoying their natural given birthright, which is being in nature. Those recreating in the outdoors should match the diversity of the plants that we see in our natural forests. I think every single one of us needs to go out in nature and experience it, whether it's once a day or once a week. It's a reset for us. That simple, because that gets us reconnected to why and what we're fighting for. The amazing thing about Skyline is that it already has so much possibility of integration. I guess my ultimate vision for Skyline Forest would be inclusivity for queer culture, or integration of indigenous culture, creating accessibility for people of all shapes and sizes and backgrounds. We together can bring more inclusivity and more accessibility to the outdoors. And who doesn't want that?
GENUS is a Central Oregon Community Culture Summit program that introduces Latinx students to the college experience.
El arte nos transmite el sentimiento de querer cambiar por nosotros, por nuestra familia, porque debemos de hacer un cambio ya para el presente, pero sobre todo para el futuro.
En comparación con los Estados Unidos que
Art has a way to express a feeling that words cannot. It is a universal language. It can impact everyone. And I think that's why we should use art to communicate what's going on in the Skyline Forest to help protect it and save it.
Art plays a huge role in protecting the environment by raising awareness and helping us see it in a different light. The words don't give you the way the pictures will show you, or the sounds will inspire you to spread awareness.
So listen to help this life stay as it is. Like this emerging scholars, we can use our voices to stand up for Skyline Forest.
There's a great deal of peace that you can find in the forest. I believe that we do need a place where we can come and connect with Mother Earth, where we can put our feet on where we come from. A place for people to be able to go where they can find solitude and peace and the beauty of its surroundings and feel the presence of life there. The trees, the birds, the plants, the insects, everything was created. Everything was put here for a purpose for us to learn from. do need water, we do need food, we do need shelter. But if we continue to take, eventually it's going to be gone. But if we can learn how to give and be a part of all of the creation, then we can find harmony.